Welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. Joining us today is Maurice van der Heijden, who heads up the EMEA Digital First and Experience Management business in Verint, which defines and delivers CX strategies for their customers. Maurice has got a strong background in CX consulting, where he spent over a decade working directly with clients across industries, developing impactful solutions for clients, and driving actionable intelligence into their business. Welcome, Maurice. It's a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you. I love being here.
That's our pleasure as well. Now, Maurice, how are Verint solutions enabling enterprises to differentiate and create new value for their customers?
Well, thank you. Thank you for the question. So the CX industry has always been very people cost dominated, and it still is. And we've estimated that the labor costs in CX are about $2 trillion, for instance, whereas software spend is only about 65 billion. So although investment in software is huge, it still pales in comparison to the labor cost. And that brings problems with it. So we're now in a time with wage rises and inflation. And brands are realizing they can't hire their way out to getting better CX. It's unaffordable now. So investment in CX automation is now the way forward to create a better customer experience. And in that way, Verint delivers value into enterprises by delivering best of breed applications in a truly open platform. So many brands have built out enormous telephony and CRM systems that drive their customer experience processes. And they're now being asked to focus on delivering new digital experience and automations, which often means that they have to replace everything, which is a great cost and a massive risk. And in Verint, we've adopted an open platform approach to take that risk out of evolving the tech stack. So our platform has a series of best-of-breed applications with an open ecosystem. That means you can keep things that work well, link them to our platform, and only use the Verint applications that you require to modernize and accelerate your customer experience. So you want to introduce a chatbot, for instance, to manage customer interactions and routing. With the Verint solution, you can keep your voice and digital channels you already have, and we're happy to work with those. Our bot will work with those inputs as part of the open platform philosophy and orchestrate interactions in that way. So that's in short how we deliver the value to the enterprise nowadays.
It's very interesting that you touched upon some very critical aspects that are transforming the CX industry, and obviously automation and AI are playing an integral part in driving that change. And increasingly, brands are gravitating towards conversational AI for elevating their CX strategies. How do you see this evolving any further from here?
Yeah, it's a very good point. So conversational AI in its best form is indeed a game changer to elevate your CX. If done well, it can deflect customers from using calls. Customers can dive directly into a digital channel. High percentage of tasks are being completed in that particular channel. So it's easier for the customer and it provides savings for the enterprise. But the one thing that we do see is that there is an element of doubt that comes into mind, where conversational AI and IVA applications are still a hindrance and not necessarily an enabler. So, and good IVA is really categorized by three things. So it needs to detect customer intent really well. So an IVA has to be able to recognize the customer problem. And so this is where AI really comes into, and self-learning of the bot. And secondly, a good IVA or conversational AI piece has to provide an accurate response, obviously. And that sounds straightforward, but it needs to take into account the customer circumstances and the data that you have as well, so it can provide a truly personalized response. And thirdly, a good IVA knows when to hand things over to a human agent. Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating. And if you want to get to an agent, that a bot keeps on looping you back and back and back with meaningless questions. So knowing when to hand over seamlessly is one of the hallmarks of a good IVA experience. So And finally, good conversational AI tool has to be able to be deployed for speech as well as digital channels, really. So it can take care of an enormous amount of customer queries directly, and it can be used to route queries between the channels as well. So good application like the Verint conversational AI really drive better experience at higher volumes. That's definitely the case.
Now, it's a complex world of CX technologies and solutions that enterprise buyers can leverage when they're looking at transforming their CX operation. What do you believe sets Verint apart from other players in the global market? Can you mention some of the notable work you've done with your clients and why enterprise buyers should gravitate towards Verint solutions?
That's a very nice question indeed. So I think our strength is really that none of our elements of our platform are just good enough. So we've made sure that each part of our platform is best of breed and delivers true value. And secondly, as I mentioned before, our open platform means that every application interconnects, which means an incredibly versatile solution with endless options to elevate your customer experience. So you talked about, use cases and examples. So a good client case example for us is a German telco provider. They have started using Verint speech analytics in real time in their contact centers, and it drives automated knowledge search for their agents. So to explain it in simple terms, when a customer calls the contact center, the real-time speech analytics analyzes in milliseconds what the customer is after. And it then triggers the knowledge management system in real time, which provides answers on the screen for the agents who work on that without any searching required. So a contact center agent will have the appropriate answers for a customer in front of them immediately without any search. And that shaves about 10 seconds from every interaction, which basically saves that company millions of euros on an annual basis. So I think that's a good example of the power of Verint applications used together in a business use case.
Sounds wonderful. Now, what are the key trends that you have observed as customer experience and customer service digitize and transform?
Yeah, that's really interesting because obviously there is really a lot going on there. For a customer, from a customer perspective, I think the additional experience you can have through a digital channel are really the most exciting trend. So digital channels give brands the opportunity to innovate. And that's really where we need to go. Yeah, a digital channel should not be a replacement of an analog channel or just a carbon copy. It should add something meaningful to the customer. So for instance, Uber is in essence a digital taxi service, but their digital approach made it possible to show where your taxi is while you're waiting. And that takes an enormous amount of anxiety and stress away for customers because you know exactly how long you got to wait. And hotel apps are a good example where it could have just been used to show your reservation and amend it, but now you can check in via your app, get a digital key card loaded up, etc. So it has added great functionality, so you don't have to queue up in the hotel. And so those two examples show that the sky is the limit for digital experiences if brands really innovate. And secondly, from a CX workforce perspective, better digital experiences take the mundane elements away from their job and leaving the actual physical workforce with a more interesting and involved customer contact where their experience is really needed. So better chatbots and journey routing and automation gives customers the path to go very far with self-serve and self-exploration. And then the contact center agents can really be the cream on the top, actually dealing with complexities and the cases that need empathy and attention. So I think those are really the two aspects that I would say where digital really brings the best out.
Certainly. Now, with all organizations obviously prioritizing their digital spend and evaluating their tech stack, what would you say is the top technology enabler that is driving the transformation we are seeing in customer engagement as well as customer management?
Yeah, so As I just said, digital experience are now the most important part of the total experience for customers. So this kind of technology really drives the opportunity. And so one of the more innovative ways you now just see coming out is the use of Chat GPT and the open AI capabilities. And not only can that create a better end user experience, it's also super useful to make digital processes more streamlined for your staff. So as an example, Verint is embedding the large language models like OpenAI into summarization processes. So a customer has a long chat with a bot first and then an agent online, and but then needs to be transferred to an agent on the phone, for instance. So we let the language models create a short summary of everything that has happened with the customer so far. So the call center agent, as soon as they pick up, they will be up to speed in seconds to talk to the customer. So because it is all summarized nicely by the AI engine. So that creates a very, very smooth customer journey. So, and the other technology that really helps customers to have a better digital experience is semantic search capability, and that's used in chatbots and knowledge-driven application like user communities. So, and the principle here is that customers can use their own language to ask a question. So, and the semantic search technology can interpret that in the right way to answer and query that route. So you don't need to find specific keywords. You can actually say something in natural language, and then, you know, the technology will really help you. And that technology makes chatbots smarter, digital processes way smoother. So no more rounds of a chatbot for understanding what you mean, or can you be more specific, but straight to the answer of a question that you might only have half defined. So, and that is really the beauty of the latest technology that we have. So, and I think those two elements that I just talked about really make a big difference now in how we build digital experiences for our customers.
Thank you so much, Maurice. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. And obviously, we look forward to meeting you and the Verint team at the CX Live UK event very shortly in London, where I'm sure a lot of the enterprise buyers would be very excited to understand more about how Verint's capabilities can assist their business.
We are looking forward to it. It's going to be a great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maurice, and see you shortly. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.